Established in 1892 and independent since 1972, the Kentucky Kernel is a nonprofit student-run media outlet for the University of Kentucky.
The Kernel offers the most extensive media news coverage around UK's campus and the surrounding area.
In episode 4 of this digital magazine, we'll be featuring broadcasts and catch you up on all the things you might have missed so far in this semester.
You'll be hearing several stories, including UK coaches hosting their own radio show in the new UK production studio, the Coffee House Jazz and Poetry Night celebrating Black History Month, and the town of Hazard, Kentucky rising after devastating floods, and much more.
I'm Drew Matanchuk.
I'm Lauren Smiley.
I'm Gavin Brunig.
I'm Piper Eno.
And the Kernel Chronicles begins right now. It's been an unforgettable semester at the University of Kentucky, with students reflecting on a historic moment in the nation's history. On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States, marking his second non-consecutive term. As the excitement from the inauguration still lingers, our reporter Lauren Smiley takes us back to campus to hear from students about their thoughts on the inauguration.
Thousands of Americans across the United States are tuning into the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States. Here in Lexington, students have plans of their own. Some are watching back home, some are watching here in the Worsham Cinema at the University's Student Center. On January 20th, 2025, Donald Trump was inaugurated. This will mark the start of his second term as President of the United States. In his inaugural address, Trump declares the beginning of what he describes as a golden age of America, putting an emphasis on his intentions to take on national challenges and reverse some policies from the previous administration. Students at the University of Kentucky, like Zach Smith, appear to be optimistic about what's to come during Donald Trump's presidency.
I don't know, it was kind of inspiring. I thought that he said a lot of good things. I know he's a really divisive guy, but if you just take what he said at face value, I think it was kind of inspiring.
Others, like Finn Height, appear to be nervous about what's to come for the next year.
I don't know, I'm a little nervous about the next 4 years. I don't know, I don't think that things bode well for kind of the way that we're seeing a lot of sort of collaboration with like tech companies and stuff like that. I think it's kind of seems a little dubious kind of. I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. It makes me a little nervous though.
Donald Trump is now the 47th President of the United States and appears eager to start his second term. For more information on the inauguration, head to kykernel.com. This was Lauren Smiley reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
The University of Kentucky's College of Communication and Information recently rolled out the red carpet for its brand new production studio, and it's already making a major splash on campus. On January 21st, the studio hosted a live taping of the Clark and Pump BBN show, where select students and faculty got a behind-the-scenes peek of the magic in action, with UK's top coaches Mark Pope, Kenny Brooks, and Nick Mangione. Taking center stage, the 3-year project officially made its debut. Our reporter Gabriella Mercedes was there to capture all the headlines. Let's dive into the story and broadcast on how this new studio is already setting the stage for something special.
The University of Kentucky Sports Network hosts both the Mark Pope and Kenny Brooks show weekly on Mondays for UK fans to listen into. However, for the first time, students and faculty have been exclusively invited here to the College of Communication and Information new studio to listen in on the hour-long questionnaire. Debuting its new state-of-the-art studio, the UK College of CI welcomed Clark's Pump and Shop BBN Radio to host their Monday night episode. This featured popular coaches Mark Pope, Kenny Brooks, and Nick Mangione. For several, this event is the first time they've gotten a look inside of UK's newest classroom, and for the Dean of the College of Communication and Information, Jennifer Greer, she couldn't imagine a better way to bring people into a new place.
We've got folks like Kenny Brooks and Mark Pope coming in, interacting with our community. It's an amazing feeling to see it all up and running.
Partnering with UK Athletics and JMI Sports, the production space holds 2 new studios, a control room, podcast spaces, and more. These efforts were geared to help CI students get hands-on experience, something studio professional and UK professor David Ashley is excited to dive into.
It's really cool to see all the different things that the studio could be used for. So like the podcast and being able to teach in here as well, it's just really nice.
For more on the story, check out kykernel.com. This is Gabriella Mercedes reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
On Martin Luther King Jr. Day, the streets of downtown Lexington were filled with energy and unity as hundreds of residents gathered to honor the life and legacy of the civil rights leader. The annual march was a powerful celebration of Dr. King's message of equality and justice, bringing together the community for a meaningful reflection on his contributions. Our reporter, Cynthia Burns, was there to capture the spirit of the event. Let's take a look at her coverage of this special day.
Chants and songs filled the street of Lexington as residents marched in celebration of Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Marches parade the streets of Lexington in celebration of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and spread his message of equality and justice by singing through the streets of downtown.
We're marching for a purpose, not to be marching to be seen, but to be marching to be heard.
Hundreds came to show support, including University of Kentucky President Eli Capilouto, who came to honor Dr. King's legacy and spread the message of hope and diversity. But the fight for equality is far from over.
There is a place for us, there is a need, and there is a struggle still happening that is causing us to still have our organizations be active.
People from all ages came out to march on MLK Day. But according to UK student Kendall Belcher, those who experienced racial discrimination during the civil rights movement might have a deeper connection to the campaign than others.
I think it just means more to them, and they're able to pass that information down to us. And it's something that we can pass along.
Information on the MLK Day March, please visit the KY Kernel. This was Cynthia Burns reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
Back in February, the Christian Student Fellowship provided an exciting update on their new building project, which is now just $2.5 million away from completion. The facility, still under construction, is shaping up to be a hub for student life with an industrial kitchen, study spaces, a worship room, and a basketball court. 6 CSF students will also have the opportunity to live full-time in the building's apartment. Head Pastor Brian Marshall is hopeful the project will be finished in time for fall of 2025, coinciding with the highly anticipated CSF Kickoff Week events. Our reporter, Emily Hardman-Urbar, has more on the story.
It's been 3.5 years since Christian Student Fellowship broke ground on their new building. Many have been wondering what's been taking so long. Well, the updates are in. The building located on Woodland Avenue was first dreamt of about 10 years ago. Since demolishing their old building in May of 2021 and breaking ground on the new structure that August, there have been a few delays along the way due to supply chain issues during the COVID-19 pandemic and the flow of donations, as head pastor Brian Marshall's goal is to finish debt-free. He shares the project's progress.
Yeah, we're at the finish line of the construction process. There's some people here today even just finishing up some of the last tweaks. People ask, when's the building going to open? And I say, well, it's not so much a timeline as it is a money line.
CSF's donors have already raised $500,000 since November 2024, bringing the remaining balance to a total of $2.5 million left to fund. The University of Kentucky does not provide funding for this project.
We need to finish raising money to buy furniture, things like that. So we're close, and so when that money is raised, then we'll open the building, and we're hoping to do that over the next few months and be able to open by the fall.
CSF hopes to open in time for their famous K-Week kickoff events, where students like undergraduate senior and future PT student Noah Fields were first introduced to CSF.
I just really felt at home with these people, and with this building being established, it just really makes me feel confident that so many students such as myself are going to be able to find a community and a place to where they can really call home away from their actual home. And
there's a new kitchen for CSF's weekly pancake nights, study areas, and a worship room, among many features built with students in mind. The new building houses 6 students. Maddie Webb, a UK senior and one of the tenants, is not bothered by the construction, but is very excited for what her residency means for the future of CSF.
So when I was picked to be a resident here at CSF, it honestly was just an example of my faith in Jesus and that this building would be done eventually, and that it was the promise of it being a better tomorrow and serving the University of Kentucky. And so I felt that living in here would pave the way for future students to have this opportunity for decades to come.
For more updates on CSF's new building, visit kykernel.com. This is Emily Hardiman-Urbar reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
The 2025 Puppy Bowl gave Kentucky a barktacular moment with 2 adorable pups, Kernel and Julie, representing the Kentucky Humane Society. To celebrate their star-studded debut, the Humane Society hosted a tail-wagging watch party at the PG&J's Dog Park Bar in Louisville, where dog owners could bring their pups to potty and cheer on the fur-tastic duo. Reporter Chloe Bradley has the scoop on this positively fun event.
Puppies become the star players at the annual Animal Planet Puppy Bowl, and this year, the Kentucky Humane Society is celebrating their dogs, Kernel and Julep, as they become the first to represent KHS at the Puppy Bowl. The Kentucky Humane Society hosted a watch party for the Puppy Bowl on Sunday, February 9th at PG&J's Dog Park Bar in Louisville, Kentucky. Kentucky residents were able to bring their dogs and celebrate Kernel and Julep as they represented the Humane Society. Alyssa Gray, president and CEO of KHS, talked about how the Puppy Bowl provided them with an exciting opportunity.
Making sure people understand that adoption's the best option and that there's amazing adoptable animals out there.
The Puppy Bowl hosted 142 rescue puppies, and the Kentucky Humane Society was able to send 2 from their own shelter. Julep, now known as Charlie, even made Puppy Bowl history as the first St. Bernard mix to participate. Jen Harris, the PR coordinator for KHS, discussed what it means for their organization to have been part of this event.
It definitely gets our name out there, puts the Kentucky Humane Society on a more national scale.
Bailey Phillips, the KHS content manager who traveled with the puppies for filming, talked about how she was excited that this national recognition will give the Humane Society a larger platform to share their mission.
We're not just here for the animals, it's about the people too.
Kernel and Julep have now both made their television debut and found their forever home. Lovebug is ready to cheer on his friends, so for more information on the Kentucky Humane Society Puppy Bowl, go to kykernel.com. This was Chloe Bradley reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
Whitesburg Cider Company added some sparkle to Valentine's Day with a fabulous twist. On February 9th, they hosted It Must Have Been Love Valentine's Day Drag Brunch with Bonita Bloom, a colorful celebration filled with lively performances from drag stars like Coco Taylor, Katie Von Double D, and Berto Love. The brunch featured an inclusive, high-energy showcase of dancing and lip-syncing, where performers truly expressed themselves. Our reporter, Olivia White, has the inside scoop on this drag-tastic event.
Gift giving is a drag queen's favorite form of love language at the It Must Have Been Love Valentine's Drag Brunch. The event features 3 different acts with dancing and lip-syncing from various drag queens.
The brunch, hosted by drag queen Bonita Bloom, featured performances from other artists like Coco Taylor, Katie Von Double D, and Berto Love. The performers entertained brunchgoers through multiple outfit changes, dance moves, and audience interaction. Mike Thornton, a brunch attendee, appreciates the inclusive nature of the drag community.
Places like this, I can go and be as extra as I want, and it's accepted rather than shunned. So I really dig that.
While Thornton enjoys the lighthearted nature of drag, he elaborates on why communities like this exist.
Whether it's this community, Hispanic community, Black community, the women community, all of the minority communities have been downplayed and ostracized since the beginning of America.
Not only did the drag brunch promote inclusiveness, but Bloom and the other performers showed those who attended a unique form of self-expression. Dawn Wheeler, who also attended the brunch, talks about the importance of this expression.
Everybody should have a chance to express themselves however they feel works for them. And so I think this is a great way for them to do that.
Not only did the It Must Have Been Love Valentine's Drag Brunch entertain its audience, but the event also reminded attendees the importance of feeling comfortable in an inclusive community.
For more on the Valentine's Day Drag Brunch, visit kykernel.com. This is Olivia White, reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
Back in February, I had the chance to cover the first snow day of the school year at the University of Kentucky. On February 11th, 2025, the campus closed due to snowy and icy conditions, giving students the rare opportunity to take a break and enjoy the winter weather. Let's take a look at how the first snow day of the year unfolded. It is currently 8:30 a.m. February 11th on the University of Kentucky's campus, and as you might be able to see behind me, over the next couple of hours, students will be waking up to a snow day. And for the first time in recent memory, the university has both canceled class and closed the campus for the entirety of the day.
As per UK's Emergency Delays and Closures website, most buildings will be closed and most employees will be off today. However, certain employee groups are designated to come in regardless of today's weather concerns. Earlier today, UK released a graphic naming some of these designated employee groups, containing both campus gyms and both campus dining halls, as well as the University Student Center and the William T. Young Library Starbucks. The university has also stated that they will be working throughout the day to clear the campus roads, parking lots, and sidewalks for the safety of anyone who is coming through or on campus. According to Wave 3 News, Lexington is forecasted to receive between 2 and 4 inches of snow on the day, with some local estimates reaching up to 5 or 6 inches.
It is cold. For more information, please visit kykernel.com. This is Gavin Brunig reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
The JamCats' fourth open mic night hit all the right notes, celebrating the rich musical talent at the University of Kentucky. This event was a melody of performances, with students bringing their voices and instruments to the stage for a harmonious evening. Reporter Libby Heckert was there to catch the tune-tastic moments and showcase the noteworthy talent that filled the air.
Live music, a welcoming crowd, and an open stage. Tonight, UK's musical community comes together for the 4th annual JamCats Open Mic Night.
Whether you're a seasoned performer or just looking to sing your heart out, this event is all about giving students a space to explore their musical talents. President of the JamCats, Trenton Upchurch, is very passionate about the growth of the JamCats.
I want this city, this town, this campus to be the next generation of music.
But for students like Logan Sheehan, JamCats isn't just about the music, it's about finding a community.
Just get around people who are similar to me, have a good interest in music, try to learn from others and grow as my own skills, try to pick up others while improving myself.
One of the best parts of JamCats Open Mic Night for Casey Geiger is the variety every performance brings. From rock to jazz to acoustic ballads, the mix of genres keeps the crowd engaged and the energy high.
The diversity of genres I think is really cool. We have a ton of different genres. We have people singing mariachi songs. We have indie. We have Chappell Roan covers. We have Green Day covers, some Nirvana.
JamCats continues to bring the UK music community together one open mic night at a time.
For more information on the JamCats, go to kykernel.com. This was Libby Heckert reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
The Coffee House Jazz and Poetry Night marked a meaningful celebration of Black History Month by honoring the rich legacy of jazz music. The Ron Jones Quartet took the stage performing a variety of soulful songs while also sharing insights into the history and cultural significance of jazz. Reporter Chloe Bradley was there to capture the powerful blend of music and history that made the evening truly special.
In honor of Black History Month, the University of Kentucky's Center for Academic Resources and Enrichment Services hosted a Coffee House Jazz and Poetry Night. This gave students an opportunity to learn about, listen to, and participate in both jazz and poetry. Throughout Black History Month, UK Cares hosts various activities to celebrate and cherish Black history. The Coffee House Jazz and Poetry Night took time to teach and celebrate the history of jazz, an important part of Black history. Ron Jackson, who works in the CARES First Generation Department, discussed why this event is important for those on campus.
For students to understand, if you're from this culture, this is something that came from your culture.
The night featured Ron Jones and the Ron Jones Quartet playing a variety of jazz songs, while Jones discussed the historical context of the music and highlighted musicians such as Charlie Parker, Grover Washington Jr., and Duke Ellington. Jones also discussed why he performs these events for students.
I want them to be interested and understand that this is America's greatest art form.
Freshman psychology major Amia Carter discussed how jazz can be pushed aside or forgotten as people have begun to gravitate towards R&B and hip-hop. However, she hopes this event gives students something new to listen to and appreciate.
I feel like we kind of skip over different genres of music because they're not popular. Jazz is one of the most iconic genres of Black History Month.
The Coffee House Jazz and Poetry Night aimed to bring appreciation to and celebrate the history behind jazz music and its ties to Black history. For more information on the Coffee House Jazz and Poetry Night, go to kykernel.com. This was Chloe Bradley reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
Reporter Jackson Reddish visited the University of Kentucky's Lewis Honors College to explore the powerful Hostile Terrain 94 exhibit. This collaborative art project invites participants to place toe tags on a map of Southwest America, each one representing a person who tragically lost their life while attempting to cross the U.S.-Mexico border through the unforgiving Sonoran Desert.
Since 1994, thousands have died from crossing the U.S.-Mexico border due to hypothermia and dehydration. We remember those lives through Hostile Terrain 94. According to Dr. Kamara, in 1994, prevention through deterrence was an enforcement strategy that funneled people crossing the U.S.-Mexico border into some of the harshest and most inhospitable parts of the Sonoran Desert. This led to Hostile Terrain 94, which is a participatory art project that was started by Dr. Jason De Leon, an anthropologist who is with the Undocumented Migration Project. Visually, this project is a large map of the U.S.-Mexico border, specifically of the state of Arizona. On the map, you can find over 4,000 handwritten toe tags that Dr. Zeta Kamara speaks on.
So the toe tags that you see represent individuals who have been recovered in the desert on the migrant trail, who have attempted to cross. Some of them are identified, some of them are unidentified, often because their remains are too disarticulated, meaning like pulled apart and skeletonized to identify.
The Sonoran Desert is located in the southwestern region of the United States, but is primarily in Arizona. Toe tags are a large part of this art project, as you place a person's toe tag on the specific location where their remains were found. Audrey Matthews Fields talks more on the representation of the toe tags.
All the time that it takes to write out all of these tags is nothing compared to the actual experiences that these people had attempting to cross the border and losing their lives in completely avoidable, horrific ways.
To honor these lives, Hostile Terrain 94 serves as a base to commemorate the individuals lost and families affected. For more information on Hostile Terrain 94, go to kykernel.com. I'm Jackson Reddish reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
Reporter Gianna Gallo takes us to Hazard, Kentucky, where the town is rising from the devastation caused by severe flooding on February 15th and 16th. With over 30.5 inches of rain, it was the worst flood since 1984, damaging homes and businesses. In response, the community has rallied together, repurposing a JCPenney store as a donation center for essential items. Local groups, including the Hazard High School football team, have actively participated in cleanup efforts. While the recovery will take years, the town's resilience remains strong, with Governor Andy Beshear setting up a donation website to aid in rebuilding.
Surrounded by the North Fork Kentucky River is the town of Hazard, which received over 30.5 inches of heavy rain throughout February 15th and 16th, causing severe flood damage. According to Perry County Emergency Management Director Jerry Stacy, this has been the biggest flood since 1984 and destroyed hundreds of homes and businesses. With the town of Hazard being in full recovery mode, several relief and donation centers have been set up to assist those in need of basic necessities as well as shelters.
We've got several volunteer groups. That's what we're doing through this time. Is organizing and getting volunteer groups in and ready to go and cleaning supplies, and we're ready to respond just as soon as the temperatures warm up. We've got shelters and places and giving people at least a temporary solution.
An emptied out JCPenney's has turned into a donation center where locals can pick up water bottles, canned goods, cleaning supplies, clothing, and more. Right outside the property, president of the Mountain Cattlemen's Association, Arch Sebastian, partnered with Appalachian Regional Healthcare of the University of Kentucky to grill food for the locals.
People need help, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to help them get something good to eat in their bellies.
Another group of hometown heroes is the Hazard High School football team, led by head coach Matt Chandler. With no school for the week, Chandler took the opportunity to help his fellow neighbors, viewing it as a way for the football team to give back to the community that supports them. So far, the football team and Chandler have helped clean out 23 homes and businesses.
It was a good opportunity for us to help our neighbors when they needed it, and a lot of people needed it. As long as we're needed in the community, we're going to be there.
Chandler recalls the first day after the heavy rain stopped when he walked to Main Street to find a sea of people all eager to help their neighbors recover from the destruction. Race Linden, a junior and middle linebacker at Hazard High School, expresses his deep love and appreciation for the people of Hazard.
I've grown up here. It's all I know. It's the only place I want to be, and the people here, I love them. All like family.
Stacy anticipates that the flood repairs will take roughly 3 to 5 years to complete. But the people of Hazard are rolling up their sleeves, cleaning up one house at a time, showing their unwavering resilience.
We will stand up and we will pull together and we'll help each other and we'll get through this. That much I'm sure about.
To help the Hazard community rebuild their homes and businesses, Governor Andy Beshear has set up a donation website at Team Kentucky Source Relief Fund. This was Gianna Gallo reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
On Friday, February 28th, University of Kentucky students joined a statewide Day of DEI hosted by Kentuckians for Higher Education. Demonstrators took place at public universities across Kentucky, including UK, to advocate for diversity, equity, and inclusion in higher education and to oppose House Bill 4. Reporter Piper Renaud has more on how students are standing together to protest DEI.
University of Kentucky students came together for Kentucky's Day of DEI, where they stand in support of laws protecting diversity, equity, and inclusion here at UK and at surrounding universities in the state.
On Friday, February 28th, Kentuckians for Higher Education hosted a statewide Day of DEI with demonstrations at not only UK, but at every public university in the state of Kentucky, in efforts to protect the use of DEI in higher education and against House Bill 4, which prohibits a public post-secondary education institution from providing special treatment or benefits on the basis of an individual's religion, race, sex, color, or national origin. Grace Yee, one of the organizers of the event, talks about the importance of the event.
Because of that pertinent issue, we decided that we needed to, as soon as possible, get together and show that we collectively, as Kentuckian students, want DEI and we want diversity and inclusive spaces on our campus.
At UK's Day of DEI, students started by gathering by William T. Young Library, then made their way to Bowman Statue by the Gatton Student Center, ending in mural making. Logan Robertson, the lead organizer of the event, talks about what the event meant to him.
It gives students from marginalized backgrounds and communities within our city, Lexington, within our state, Kentucky, it enables them to come to campus, to learn, to become, educated, like more privileged students. It allows them to voice their opinion and not fear retribution from more privileged people or people from authority.
To learn more about Kentucky's Day of DEI, go to kykernel.com. This is Piper Renaud reporting for the Kentucky Kernel. The Professional Bull Riders League brought a wild weekend to Lexington, Kentucky, with the Pendleton Whiskey Velocity Tour at Rupp Arena on March 7th and 8th. Fans from across the state gathered to watch as bulls charged through the arena horns first while riders were pushed to their limits. It was a weekend full of hoof-stomping action and buckle-clenching moments. Reporter Christian Kantowski rides us through the excitement of this thrilling event.
This ain't Texas, but you can hold them, as the most recent Professional Bull Riders event made a stop at Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky while on the Velocity Tour. Folks came from all over with friends and family to watch these bucking bull riders battle it out.
This PBR event, which ran March 7th and 8th, acted as a qualifying run for the PBR World Finals. For fans like Chris Walls, an internet director from Lexington, they were just there to enjoy the show.
We like to get out of the house and we want a good time. I went to the rodeo years ago when I was a kid, and I haven't been for a while. I saw the show was happening, so I wanted to give it a shot.
Even without a personal connection to bull riding, Walls said the event was enjoyable. For Jocelyn Bartmus, who attended the event with her two friends, she said everything about the environment, from the bulls to the dirt and the crowd, were nice reminders of rodeos she'd been to as a kid. For Bartmus, an event like PBR brought her happiness.
Is so much ingrained into everything that I do, like I did growing up, from going to dance halls, just everybody drinking beer, dancing, having a good time. It really helps to be back here, kind of brings me back to that.
Awesome. For Bartmus, a nurse who grew up in Texas, this PBR event reminded her of home.
To learn more about the Professional Bull Riders event in Lexington, Kentucky, visit us at kykernel.com. This is Christian Kantowski reporting for the Kentucky Kernel.
For all things Kentucky Kernel, be sure to check out our website at kykernel.com and social media including X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Spotify. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.